good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. We got another reaction video coming to you. The dumbest attempts to cancel MrBeast. So apparently throughout the years, people have been attempting to cancel MrBeast for absolutely ridiculous reasons. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into this.
From people being angry at Chris for dressing up as a helicopter, to the vegan teacher claiming that MrBeast was promoting violence by not having pineapple on his largest slice of pizza, these are the absolute dumbest attempts to cancel MrBeast, and it all begins with an image of a helicopter from back in 2014. Remember when people were going around making the joke that they identify as an Apache attack helicopter? It was a meme that began back in 2014 when a user on Reddit posted a deliberately ridiculous paragraph reading, "I sexually identify as an attack helicopter. People say to me that a person being a helicopter is impossible, but I don't care. I'm beautiful. I'm having a plastic surgeon install rotary blades, 30mm cannons, and AMG 114 Hellfire missiles on my body. If you can't accept me, you're a heliphobe and need to check your vehicle privilege."
Just imagine if you were like a robot and you could have like a built-in like cannon on your arm and you could just like boom.
Say to me that a person being a helicopter is impossible.
That would be absolutely
I'm having
insane.
a plastic surgeon install rotary blades.
It's time to live my dream.
Like a real life cyborg. Why is he flapping him like a bird, bro? That's not a helicopter.
I was actually born a tank, but sadly it wasn't one of our 52 genders.
And if we take the joke and rank it on a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being least offensive and 10 being most offensive, it probably wouldn't even hit 1 on the scale, because the only thing at the brunt of the
Like,
joke
how
is
could
a
you even
flying
take? You
metal
can't even take
vehicle.
that serious.
Yet, because they
like-
were making a joke about identifying as something other than their normal selves, some of Twitter's finest would call the video out over 4
Why is he
years
flapping
after
like
it
a-
was
I still don't
originally
understand why he's
posted.
flapping like a
MrBeast
bird.
exposed for what some fans have called a transphobic video. In a now deleted 2016 video, MrBeast says, "I was born a tank,
Can't take
but
the
sadly
joke.
it wasn't one of our 52 genders." The claim that this was distasteful was clearly ridiculous, and the comments supported such. Where's the transphobia? In their imaginations. I didn't know about the discrimination attack helicopters face till now. Chill, the video was obviously a meme. Don't try to cancel one of the best people on the planet because they made a video about being an attack helicopter. Literally so many people would be cancelled for nothing. What was even funnier was that the people who were supposed to be offended by the video weren't even offended by it. As a trans person, I found this so funny at the time, and I still do. It's honestly so sad people get mad over stuff like this. It's obviously a joke.
Big facts.
LMAO, my transgender sibling was laughing so hard at this. After reading the comments, I was glad to discover that I'm not the only trans person who thought his joke was funny. Yet these comments didn't stop the original person who was trying to cancel MrBeast, who would continue with this excellent piece of investigative journalism by DMing MrBeast and Chris before stating, "Hi MrBeast, hope you're doing well. I was recently sent a video where you and your friend Chris Tyson make some seemingly transphobic remarks. Chris says he identifies as a helicopter. You make some remarks about gender. It's a video from 2016. Can you comment?" The whole thing was best summarized by the commentary channel Memeify.
Genuine question. How are you this sensitive to humor? Even just a joke about attack helicopters offends them this badly.
And while this cancellation attempt was extremely petty, it was nothing compared to another which would happen at a later date, this new one being so dumb that even PewDiePie jumped in to defend MrBeast. It began in November 2021 after the incredibly popular Squid Game video was posted, and MrBeast revealed that the entire production had cost upwards of $3.5 million, which included a prize of $456,000 for the winner of the video.
That was such a
Now,
good
this meant that
video.
the
He
format
really
wasn't much
did do a
different
good job
anyways
on
from
that
other channel-style videos.
The Squid
It
Game
puts
one.
up a bunch of money in the beginning, various people compete for it, and whoever wins is rewarded with a pretty hefty payday. However, for some reason in the case of Squid Game, the success of the video seemed to trigger the response that the money should have instead been donated to charity. I'm sure that money couldn't possibly have benefited anyone else. Imagine using this money to actually help those who need that, not for fun. You could have just donated the 1.5 million. Now this argument makes a lot of sense as an extremely basic surface level idea. However, when you factor in a little thing known as reality, it crumbles pretty damn quickly. Firstly, it's infuriating because it can be applied to any amount of money. Oh, you got ice cream on the weekend and got 2 scoops? Why didn't you get 1 scoop and donate the rest to charity? Oh, you bought a new car? Why Why didn't you buy a second-hand car and donate the rest to charity? The fact that it's valid in all
That's pretty
situations
dumb
with any
because
amount
like
of money
he actually
makes
does
a
like a
never-ending
lot of
loop
philanthropy.
why didn't you just spend less and donate the rest to charity? And to say that it's different in MrBeast's case just because it's a larger sum of money,
I think that's the way you say that.
and that the people making these claims haven't thought through the problem in its entirety. The claim also displays an embarrassing level of ignorance about MrBeast's long-term vision, as
Like,
it fails
he
to
actually
take into
does a
account
lot
that the
to help
money
a lot of
invested in the
people.
Squid Game video will go on to earn more money, which over the long run will more than likely end up in the hands of the quote-unquote less fortunate. In the month that the Squid Game video was posted, MrBeast gained close to 10 million subscribers, and with MrBeast's main message being one of helping others, how can we be so sure that those inspired by his message wouldn't donate more than $3.5 million to charity themselves over the long run? So sure, he could take the whole $3.5 million and dump it into a charity, but at the end of the day, it's simply a poor short-term strategy. The other problem with these people putting pressure on MrBeast to give money to charity is that they probably don't even donate money themselves. Getting to the point where you're comfortable giving money away requires an unbelievable amount of personal development. That's why it's a respectable thing to do, and the people who have reached this point of being charitable are not the same people who spend their life on Twitter calling out MrBeast for being a bad person. Thankfully, almost everyone echoes
Yeah,
this
everything
sentiment.
I've
He gives a lot of
seen
money
and
away,
heard
through this method, he can
about
generate future revenue
Jimmy
and help
MrBeast,
people.
like
I think
he's
done a
a
hell of lot more for
really
people
good
than you have.
person.
Grow up.
He
Look at
doesn't
his
do
channel and
any
tell
of
me he
this
doesn't
for
help
like his
people.
personal
Grow up. Let this
gains.
man
It's
spend
all
his money
for
however he pleases. The cancellation
A,
attempt was
his
so
channel
pathetic
to
that even
grow,
PewDiePie
and
uploaded
B,
a stream
to just
highlighting
help
defense of MrBeast.
people
People were
around the
like,
world.
"Oh, you spent all this money like doing this when you could have just like fed the hungry or some shit like that." He spent two million building Squid Game, and people are like, "Well, he's not doing enough." This is the problem with Twitter. Like, people shouldn't have opinions.
Yet neither PewDiePie or MrBeast was safe from the next person who would attempt the most brain-dead cancellation attempt of them all, that vegan teacher. It began on the 2nd of August 2021 when, out of the blue, that vegan teacher would upload a new video titled, "MrBeast, no amount you give to charity can undo the damage you are causing by promoting eating meat." Now we need to preface this section by explaining that being provocative is the vegan teacher's main method of growth. Her formula is simple. She picks a beloved influencer such as Gordon Ramsay, PewDiePie, or Darman, then goes out of her way to frame them as anti-vegan in any way possible. This in turn gives the commentary community a reason to talk about her, providing her with growth through controversy, in a similar way to Jellybean or Wings of Redemption. And with
We've
this in
seen
mind, it's
videos on
hardly surprising
Jellybean
that
if
the
you
vegan
want to
teacher
look
would
into
eventually
that.
come from
I'll put a
MrBeast.
card at the
She'll
top of
begin
this
by
video.
reviewing his I ate a $70,000 golden pizza video by stating that there are millions of children starving around the globe, and that instead of buying an expensive pizza, the $70,000 would have been better spent solving world hunger.
But before we watch
Yo,
him
that
eat
pizza
a
looks
$70,000 pizza,
crazy.
let's look into the eyes of this child. There are millions of children around the world who are starving to death. $70,000 could buy a lot of food.
Only this started the vegan teacher's argument on poor footing, as it failed to include the fact that 5 months prior, MrBeast had begun Beast Philanthropy, with the first 4 out of 5 videos on the
Yup.
channel doing exactly what the vegan teacher was
Philanthropy.
complaining about, feeding people
There we go.
without
That's how you
access
pronounce
to
that
food.
word.
Do more research. He has donated millions to the hungry
Would it
and
be
the homeless. He's also one of
philanthropy
the biggest
and then
philanthropists
philanthropic?
on here. Vegan teacher,
Yeah.
those 70,000 could have gone towards feeding starving children. Also her, he bought everything in a store and donated it to charity or whatever, but that doesn't matter. He literally has a food bank to give food to families that can't afford it. Meanwhile, the vegan teacher was doing absolutely
Yeah.
nothing to help solve world hunger herself.
Yeah,
When
sit
you
down,
search
lady.
up that vegan teacher charity, unsurprisingly nothing comes up, with her only attempt at feeding the hungry being her complaining about others not feeding the hungry. Upon visiting her Patreon, it states, "Each donation, big or small, helps to sustain me so I can devote more time and resources to helping save the animals by educating others about not eating, wearing, or using them," which roughly translates to something like, "The money will go directly into my bank account, and I'll continue to make videos framing decent people as evil anti-vegans," which is what she would do to MrBeast as her first video continued to roll. The vegan teacher's next criticism was that MrBeast didn't specify whether or not each item of food was vegan.
$5,000 taco.
Are they vegan tacos made with beans and vegan cheese?
This is $1 pizza.
Is that vegan cheese?
This is a $2 hot dog.
Is that a vegan hot dog?
Yet when you think about it for a couple of minutes, this would actually be an incredibly dumb thing for MrBeast to do, as it would set an impossibly high standard for future videos. For example, if MrBeast attempted to appeal to the vegans once by stating that he was eating vegan food, he'd run the risk of backlash in future videos, as the audience could now use leverage against him by stating, "Oh, you were eating vegan food before, why didn't you continue doing so?" ironically making the consumption of meat less controversial. Additionally, while vegans have a reputation for being quite vocal, according to the data, only 2% of the US population is vegetarian, and out of that, only 0.5% of the population is vegan, and therefore making content to appeal to vegans would be a poor strategy, when MrBeast has stated on numerous occasions that his goal is to simply reach the widest audience possible. The vegan teacher would then go on to state that MrBeast's video of him eating different foods worth different amounts of money was promoting violence and destroying the environment.
MrBeast, unfortunately, I have given you so many X's here for promoting the violence, for not talking about the environment.
Before going on to state that he needed to become a vegan animal rights activist in order to undo the non-existent damage.
You need to go back and undo the damage that you've done. The first thing that you can do, MrBeast, number 1, is become vegan. Number 2, become an animal rights activist for the rest of your life. Tell people that the videos that you've done in the past, including this one, that you're ashamed of and that you wish you had never done them.
Which was concluded by the vegan teacher demanding MrBeast apologize in her comment section.
MrBeast knows about my channel here. Make sure that he subscribes and that he joins me in the comment section to tell me that he's going to change.
Unsurprisingly, the vegan teacher never got the apology. However, one thing she did receive on the video was an impressive dislike ratio of 96%, alongside comments such as, "He literally spends most of his money saving the world and helping others.
Facts.
The amount of money he donated to people in need and to plant trees is more than
He
you
lives
can
a very
imagine.
modest
MrBeast
life
is a legend. He doesn't deserve this. However, with the
compared
vegan teacher's
to
video receiving
a
more
large
views than
majority
any
of
uploads,
content
only 6
creators
days
or
later, she posted another
YouTubers
video attempting
anywhere
to
near
cancel
his
MrBeast,
size.
this time titled "At MrBeast, Stop Paying for Animal Abuse," in which she'd go on to call MrBeast out for not specifying whether or not the base of the ice cream they were eating was vegan.
But what is the base made out of? Is the base made out of something vegan? I don't know what you're eating. It's some sort of cake, but you didn't. So I'm gonna put another X because you're not saying specifically that it's vegan.
2 weeks after this statement, the vegan teacher would upload a third video in which she'd state that MrBeast was again promoting violence, this time by not having fruit and vegetables on his pizza in
That's
the "I ate the world's largest slice of
a
pizza" video.
Where is the
huge.
pineapple? X. What on earth? What is this pizza? There's not one single vegetable on there. Where are the mushrooms? Where's the spinach? Where's the broccoli? What else have you got on there? You have no green peppers? No hot peppers? That's not food. What is that? Is there even sauce on there? Is there even tomato sauce? X.
This was best summarized by a comment reading, "Someone needs to explain to the vegan teacher that putting vegetables on something doesn't make it vegan." However, this was still nothing compared to that vegan teacher's most outrageous
I can't with
comment
this
of all
lady,
3
bro.
videos. She'd state that because MrBeast had a professional hot dog eater in his video, this was promoting the food poutine. Poutine has cheese in it, cheese comes from milk, and milk is taken from cows, and therefore MrBeast is promoting the act of stealing.
Why are you promoting people that eat large amounts of food?
And not only does he hold the world record for hot dogs eaten, but he has so many.
Did you even say vegan hot dog at all? What else do you got here? Poutine with cheese on it? Cheese comes from milk, which is stolen from mothers after their babies were taken from them. Do you think that kidnapping is okay, MrBeast? Kidnapping babies and stealing from them? Do you think that stealing is okay? Apparently you do.
Unsurprisingly, all 3 of the vegan teachers'
These
attempts to cancel
accusations,
MrBeast failed
goodness.
miserably, as did the 2 we discussed earlier. In fact, there really hasn't been a single bit of MrBeast drama that's had the slightest effect on his reputation. His bulletproof public image and masterful management of controversy turn every cancellation attempt into water off a duck's back.
I mean, the biggest thing I'll say about that is a lot of those cancel attempts are just too far out there. Like, he's a good guy from everything I've seen. I've never seen anything other. Yeah, that definitely that video made me laugh. I hope you guys enjoyed. That's all for that. We're done with that. On to the next.